So, I wrote a journal reflection yesterday because of my experiences as of late, um, and they coincide with the first universal law. The mind is all, the universe is mental. So this saying has been with me for about 3 to 4 years now. It is the first universal law. It's called the Law of Mentalism. It's written different ways. So some people say all is mind, the universe is mental, but the way that I've heard it and the way that it stuck with me is that the mind is all and the universe is mental. And I first heard this listening to Brother Panic, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago. He has a video called I, Self, Law, and Master, and that's basically the acronym for the religion Islam, or his acronym, or whoever's acronym. But I watched this video when I first woke up, and it just stuck with me because throughout the whole video, he keeps referring to this same axiom: the mind is all, the universe is mental. And for the past, I want to say 2 to 3 months now, and more recently, like the past few weeks, I have been experiencing in real time, nonstop, that my subconscious mind creates my reality. It creates the experiences I'm having. My thoughts, my emotions create the interactions that I have with people wherever I'm at. You know, whether I'm at home with my family, or I'm at the grocery store, or, you know, when I'm seeing whatever synchronistic numbers. All of this is a reflection of what's going on in my mind and my subconscious. And like I said, I've been experiencing this in real time. So it's like, as it's happening, I'm understanding, okay, I had this thought and I had this emotion, and this is what created this scenario that I'm currently experiencing. And I've been experiencing this sober, and I say sober because this law is easily realized by people who take psychoactive substances or psychedelics. However, majority of people who are walking around soberly are not in tune with their mind, body, and spirit. And even so, people who take psychoactive substances or psychedelics, they may come down from their experience, and though throughout the whole trip for 5, 6, however many hours, they understood that what they were experiencing was a result of their subconscious mind. By the time they come back to reality and their ego is back in place to play, it's kind of like they forget, or maybe they're too karmically indebted, where their energetic field was clogged up, or is clogged up so much that although they just experienced this truth on a trip, it didn't stick with them, because now, you know, they have their ego back in place. They're more conscious, whereas like when you're on a trip, you're operating solely from your subconscious. So when you're conscious and your ego's in place, you kind of, and you're not like cleared karmically, or your energetic field is not clear, you have a lot more residue, and it creates a lot more stagnation for you to experience this truth. Like I said, most people who are walking around soberly are not in tune with their mind, body, and spirit. They believe and assume everything is a random occurrence or a coincidence, when in actuality, everything is the result of your thoughts, your emotions, or your energy, because emotions are energy in motion. And this just relates to your vibrations or your frequencies. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything coincides. So, experiencing this in real time, grounding and feeling this in my body, has allowed me to rapidly manifest my reality spontaneously and understand the law of attraction. Because I feel like what people, or like the new agers or whatever, are trying to get at with the law of attraction is that, like, oh, just think positively and say these positive affirmations, but it has to be rooted in your subconscious mind. Same way, if you have experienced a certain trauma, let's say from your parents or just in your upbringing in general, and this is like most common throughout everyone in the world, whether they realize it or not, they experience whatever trauma growing up. They go to work, their boss is just like whatever parent. Or they get into a relationship, and their relationships are just like whatever parent. Their friendships are just like whatever parent. And this keeps showing up over and over and over again to get you to clear your subconscious mind and get you to realize that your subconscious is what's creating this experience in order for you to clear it, in order for you to do the work that's needed to see things clearly and create a new reality for yourself. So you can say these positive affirmations over and over again. But if you do not truly believe it, if you do not truly feel it in your body, and I also pose the question like, are you really experiencing anything if you don't feel it in your body? Are you really tasting food if you don't, feel it on your tongue that you taste it? Are you really wearing clothes if you can't feel it? Like, can you really experience something if you don't feel it in your body? So the same way that I understand and I'm experiencing in real time that my thoughts are creating in my reality, I'm getting chills, I'm getting nervous system cues, I'm getting just all these signs in my body and from outside, like in the world or whatever I'm doing as I'm going out, that's confirming this for me and telling me like I created this experience. And until I clear up whatever needs to be cleared up, I cannot create a new experience. Not saying that I can't, but that I have to kind of do it in tandem with whatever's going on, and this is where like the whole idea of like karmic loops and karmic blockages and stuff like that came in. Or in the beginning, I said how somebody might be too karmically indebted, meaning that, you acquire karma from your past lives as well as this life, the things that you've done in this life. So if you never take the time to sit and realize the things that you've done, to clear it out of your subconscious, to forgive yourself of any shame, any guilt, to just kind of integrate all of your experiences and see them as learning lessons and things that teach you and that weren't trying to compel you or prevent you from doing anything, then you're going to assume as if what you're experiencing is just a random coincidence, or you don't know why this is happening to you, woe is me, when it's like a part of your karma. You're experiencing these things to help you clear your karma, to clear your subconscious mind. And I also put in here how important it is to guard your thoughts and your tongue. So on one hand, the positive affirmations do work. And it's important because when you repeat them, or if you listen to different frequencies or different affirmations, you can play them in the middle of the night for 8 hours, whatever. They help to reprogram your subconscious so that you start to believe in yourself. You start to believe in what you're doing, as you continue to say these affirmations. But you have to be in a certain state of mind in order for you to really believe it. If you don't really believe that you're beautiful, you can tell yourself over and over again that you're beautiful, but until you start to embody it, until you start to really feel it, doesn't matter how many times you say it. You know what I mean? So I said guard your thoughts and guard your tongue, because knowing that your thoughts create your reality, you have to protect yourself. A lot of thoughts that we pick up on are not ours. A lot of things that we say out of our mouth are also, I want to say, like a consequence or a result of us picking up on energy from other people, and where we're trying to kind of, I want to say, cover up our energy in a sense by saying certain things or by doing certain things instead of really just being who we are and speaking from our soul's essence. That's why when they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Because you could say something foul and create that experience for you to live out and for you to deal with, because it's something that's embedded in your subconscious. It's something that you've grown up hearing and you haven't taken the time to clear it out of your mind. You've become so attributed to saying this saying over and over again that you don't realize how the more that you say it, you're creating a certain scenario for you that you're kind of tired of dealing with, or that you feel is kind of trying to think of the word unlike satisfactory is what comes to mind. Like you're dealing with an experience that you really don't want to deal with, but you don't know how to stop it. And when it's just as simple as you stop saying a certain thing or you stop thinking a certain thing, which is, I want to say it's harder than it sounds, but it's as hard as you make it. You know what I'm saying? You probably won't wake up the next day and just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna stop saying this, I'm gonna stop doing that, especially if you've been attributed to doing something for so long, for a whole lot of years. But it's as hard as you make it. The more time that you take to work with your mind, body, and spirit to clear up your subconscious, the easier it is for you to clear these things up and, change your thinking, change your subconscious mind's programming. Everything you experience, everyone you interact with, I'm just kind of reiterating this. Everything you experience, everyone you interact with is simply a manifestation of the contents of your subconscious mind. Even more so, you are also experiencing the projections of others' subconscious as well, depending on how close you are to them physically or energetically. It's like a whole lot of overlapping circles or overlapping energetic fields. And I kind of I posed this question because there was an old head in a park, I want to say Grant Park in Atlanta. Like, if you ever went to Georgia State and you walking towards Outer Hood, it's that park, and it has a whole lot of homeless people or whatever right in the middle of downtown. But there was an old head there, and he used to wear an ankh, and just like his drip was like, okay, I feel like he might tell me something, and this is when I was waking up. So I would go over there and I would talk to him and ask him questions. And when I first woke up, I asked him, I was like, so if I'm a God and I create my reality, why are there so many motherfuckers around me? Because if we're being honest, in my reality, it's not this many people. It's not this many people at all. And he told me, essentially, it's because there are other gods and goddesses around you and other people who are creating their minds as well. So now I'm in a place where, a couple years later, I'm able to understand what that really means. As I'm experiencing the things of my subconscious, right? I'm also experiencing my mother's subconscious because I live with her right now, or my partner's subconscious because we're close energetically and we're close physically. So there may be some things that he might be projecting from his subconscious that I have to kind of deal with in a way, or that I kind of have to face. It's not necessarily something that needs to be cleared up from my subconscious mind, but maybe something that simply needs awareness. Like, I'm aware that, okay, this is something that he's dealing with and he's projecting it, and this is how it's playing out, you know what I'm saying? Then I can work from there. Or just the same with anybody. Like, if you're walking in the grocery store, you might see someone or see something, or something might fall, or whatever happens, and you have to kind of decide for yourself, did I create this experience? Is this happening because of this thought that I just had or this emotion that I just had? Or you can say, well, I'm at the grocery store, there's a whole bunch of people around me. They may not all be in tune with their mind, body, and spirit, but maybe one person is in tune, and I just so happen to be physically close to them, and so I just experience whatever they created from their subconscious. Or maybe, what I was thinking about saying kind of in the beginning was that, how people don't really experience this because they're not in tune with their mind, body, and spirit, which is why we experience it more on psychoactive substances. But this is spontaneous in nature. So I might be at the grocery store around somebody in my physical or energetic field, and they might spontaneously be aligned with their mind, body, and spirit to where they create an experience, and I just happen to be there with them experiencing it, or realizing it, or whatever the case may be. So what we're trying to do is move from a place of this happening spontaneously to really taking control over our reality, because this is what it means to be a creator, to be God, to be one with source, etc., etc., etc. Is for you to have control over your reality, have control over things that you create, attracting things, like I said, law of attraction, or manifesting things. This is coming from your subconscious mind. So the more that you visualize, the more that you take time to meditate, the more that you do subconscious clearing, aka shadow work, it helps to reprogram your subconscious mind so that you can create the reality that you want to experience, and you're not just doing it spontaneously. Because we might have a whole lot of spontaneous happenings where I'm like, when I walk down the street today, I want to see $20 on the floor. And it might just happen. I might have been so in tune and so aligned with my mind, body, and spirit in that moment. I might have had so much conviction. I might have just did some yoga that morning or did some breath work, and it had cleared my field so much to where I said, I'm going to see this money on the floor, and I walk over there and there it is. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to a point, and I feel like by default, where the collective conscious is going, we're going to be doing this nonstop anyway, but it's going to wreak havoc on people or make people feel like they're crazy because they don't know who they are. They don't know that they're God. They don't know that they have this ability. So when it happens, they might think like something's crazy or it's a glitch in the matrix. Like, no, it's you being your God self. It's you being who you truly are, creating your reality the way that you want to experience it. So again, just reiterating, subconscious clearing is important. Doing shadow work, reprogramming your subconscious. And so this is important, paying attention to what you eat, what you think, what you watch, what you listen to, because, you know, listening to music, watching a movie, all of this puts you in the alpha state. So it's why you might hear a song 1 or 2 times, but the beat had you in the alpha state, and now you over here singing it, and you don't even know the lyrics, but you hear humming the tune and stuff like that. All these things directly contact your subconscious, so you want to counterbalance that out, making time to meditate, and clear it all up, clear all the things that you picked up throughout the day. Like an example that came to me, so I've been doing Instacart, so it's to the point where like we go out and we do Instacart, and we doing Instacart all day. When I go to sleep, I'm seeing myself grocery shopping, or like basically like I'm in the store doing Instacart, delivering stuff to people's houses. But I feel like that's just the way that my subconscious is just trying to clear out what I picked up on throughout the day, because maybe I didn't meditate before bed that night or whatever may have you. And detoxing for extensive periods of time, I feel like this is the most important one, because if you don't take the time to detox your system, you're walking around with years worth of gunk. You're walking around with years and years worth of shit that you've never taken the time to detox out. And this can be, it's privy to you and however you live your life. Because I was vegan for 2 years. I did the carnivore diet for 6 months, where I ate nothing but straight meat. And I'll probably do a separate video on that. But I feel like it's important to do these detoxes, because not only does it get you more acclimated with whatever foods you need to be eating, but it also like just completely clears you of any debris, any residue, any gunk, any subconscious bullshit that you've been picking up on for months and months and years. So I feel like detoxing for extensive, I want to say, you know, if you're like me now, if I do like another carnivore diet or something, I'll do it like a month at a time or 2-3 months at a time. But if you've never really detoxed yourself before, I definitely say go for 6 months, go for a year if you can. Go as long as possible, because it's trying to help you clear up your field. We're just doing it through the medium of food. But you can do, like, I don't drink juice anymore. If you still drink juice and sodas and whatever other little drinks out there, you can do a detox like that. It doesn't have to be something that's completely strict and rigid. And lastly, I wanted to say just boundaries. Having physical and energetic boundaries. And something I watched the other day that I thought was really good was kind of claiming your auric field, because your auric field can stretch out in 9 feet all around you, up, down, straight across, whatever. And so you can visualize in your mind your auric field kind of not reaching out so far, so that when you get around large crowds of people, when you go to the grocery store, when you in the home with your whole family and shit like that, you're not just picking up on everybody's field and everybody's energy, so that you don't have as much to clear. You can just wear crystals to protect you, wear copper rings and stuff like that to protect you. But definitely having energetic and physical boundaries, letting people know, no, I can't talk about that right now. I'm not in the mind space to kind of hold that for you, and that's going to be clogging up my subconscious. Whatever, I can't deal with that right now. Just saying no, having boundaries, I feel like definitely protects your energetic field and allows you to have more control over your subconscious mind, so that you can create your reality. The mind is all, the universe is mental. The universe, everything you experience is a consequence of your thoughts, your emotions, and your feelings. And you want to be able to experience this in real time and not spontaneously. You want to be able to hold on to this knowing, and everything that you do, everything that you experience on a day-to-day basis, say, this is a result of this thought that I had earlier, or this is a result of this emotion that I had earlier. So, peace.